What a twist! No one ever expects that a regular morning shower will turn into a real detective story with a mix of comedy and a slight nervous twitch. All right, let's not beat around the bush. Let's start from the very beginning. So, I wake up in the morning, as any honest person does, who, by pure chance, is neither a billionaire nor the heir to a gold mine. My head is heavy, my eyes refuse to open, but duty calls. I need to take a shower. As they say, if the world refuses to be a better place, at least I should look decent. I walk into the bathroom, yawning so hard it feels like my soul is escaping, and mindlessly turn on the water. And there I am, standing under the hot stream, dreaming that this shower will wash away not only my sleepiness but also all my responsibilities to reality when, suddenly, I notice a strange little black dot right under the ventilation. At first, I thought it was just dirt. Because, let's be honest, whose bathroom shines like an operating room in a criminal mastermind's lair? But this dot was staring at me, intently, and then it hit me. I squinted, placed my palm under the water, and slapped the thing with a sharp motion. It moved slightly but didn't fall off. I reached out and poked it with my finger. It was a camera. Holy shit. My brain, which usually operates at the speed of a lazy sloth, suddenly switched to Sherlock Holmes mode, mixed with a pinch of panic. First option, some kind of secret experiment. Maybe I'm part of a reality show but just never signed any paperwork? Unlikely. Although, considering my habit of signing things first and figuring them out later, it's possible. Second option, intelligence agencies. But why? My only criminal activity was downloading movies in 2008, and I felt guilty about that. Third option, a tech-savvy house spirit. But in that case, I'd have even bigger questions. That left the fourth option, the one I like the least. Someone was actually spying on me in the shower, and that, you have to admit, is a little unsettling. So there I was, soaking wet like a failed contestant in a wet t-shirt contest, trying to figure out what to do. First thing, I checked how this thing was attached. Small, round, black, neatly stuck to the ventilation. Very well hidden. If it weren't for my suspiciously thorough morning ceiling inspection, I never would have noticed it. I grabbed my phone. Don't ask where it came from, it was nearby, and took a picture. Then I started Googling. And you know what's the scariest part? You can buy a camera like this anywhere, literally for $30, which means anyone could have installed it. Anyone. And now things got really interesting. I mentally made a list of possible culprits. The landlord. Maybe he wanted to keep an eye on things, although that seems more like an idea from a different kind of website, one that's definitely not about renting apartments. The neighbors. I don't know them, but who knows? I once overheard someone in the hallway say, "That guy from 32 is weird." Maybe they wanted to prove it experimentally. An example. Unlikely, but she did have some strange ideas like, "I always want to know what you're doing." The government. Just in case. What if I'm a genius and don't even know it? But the biggest problem was something else. Where was the footage going? I decided to test it. Grabbed some tape, covered the camera, and waited. If someone was actually watching me, they would have to react, right? 2 hours passed. Silence. I decided to up the stakes and removed the tape. Then I leaned close to the camera and said clearly, "I know you're watching." Silence again. But not even 5 minutes later I heard noise in the hallway. Someone had walked up to my door. I froze. I grabbed something heavy. Don't ask what. It worked, and that's all that matters. Walked to the door and yanked it open. There stood a delivery guy with my pizza. I still looked at him suspiciously, but the next day I called a technician and asked him to check the ventilation. And you know what? The camera was non-functional. Just an old abandoned device left behind by some previous tenant. So either I had been stressing for 2 days over nothing, or someone once had plans that never worked out. But do you know what's the scariest part? Now, every time I step into the shower, the first thing I do is check the ventilation. After this whole camera incident, I started noticing strange things. Maybe it was just my frazzled mind playing tricks on me, or maybe, for example, I had never paid attention before, but sometimes the intercom rings, and when I go to check, silence. Or someone leaves a small cup of water right outside my door in the hallway. All right, maybe I exaggerated the cup thing, but I swear, it was there once. But the weirdest thing happened a week later. I was sitting in the kitchen, eating my bachelor's meal, pasta with cheese and an unshakable belief in a better tomorrow, when I noticed the light on my router blink. And normally that wouldn't mean anything, but it blinked in a way that felt intentional, like it was blinking back at me. I'm no expert in spy tech, but considering I had found a hidden camera in my shower just a week ago, this was too much. I went online. Turns out routers can be hacked, and someone could use them to spy on connected cameras, which meant that if the shower camera wasn't working, someone might have been watching me through my laptop webcam instead. Now, I was really on edge. I covered my webcam, just in case. Then I changed my Wi-Fi password. Then I thought about it for a moment and just turned the router off completely. I sat in the dark and waited. If someone had hacked me, they'd have to react, right? The night passed. In the morning, I turned the router back on, and guess what? It blinked again. And that's when I realized either I was losing my mind or someone really was watching me. I decided to take action. I called up a tech-savvy friend. You know, the guy at parties who doesn't drink but brags about how he can hack your Wi-Fi in 5 minutes. "Hey man, I need your help." I started carefully. He listened, nodded, well, I imagined him nodding, and said, "Sounds like a hack." "Are you freaking kidding me?" I asked him to check it out. An hour later he called me back. "Someone did connect, but it's weird. There are no traces left. Either a really good hacker or just a glitch." A glitch? In my apartment? After the whole camera thing? I don't buy it. I decided I needed to relax. I went to the shower, turned on the water, closed my eyes, and told myself that maybe I had just overreacted. There I was, enjoying the warmth, when I heard a click. I opened my eyes. On the ventilation, a red dot. I screamed, bolted out of the bathroom, grabbed a mop, and, like a horror movie hero, swung at the vent. Bam! The camera fell to the floor. I ran over, picked it up, and there, just a dusty old LED reflector. As they say, comedy is just tragedy happening to someone else. I collapsed onto the floor, laughing like a madman. And then I decided to move out. Because if this was just a glitch, let it glitch at someone else's place. I moved out. No, seriously. Dropped everything and rented a new apartment. Maybe not the best way to deal with problems, but who even came up with the stupid idea of facing your fears? I prefer the run while you still can method. The new apartment was fine. Clean, cozy, with no sign of hidden shower cameras. I even checked every corner, shone my phone light into the ventilation, took apart the router, almost broke it, but that's beside the point. Everything was clear. But the problem is, you can't evict paranoia that easily. For example, I'd be sitting on the couch, watching a show, and suddenly catch myself checking if my laptop webcam was blinking. Or I'd turn on the bathroom light before walking in, just in case something appeared again. And then, a week later, I heard the bathroom fan. I had never heard the bathroom fan before. You might say, well, that happens. Old buildings, noisy wiring. But my brain was already tuned into they're watching me mode. I went back online. Turns out some cameras have automatic noise suppression, meaning they can pretend they're not there and then suddenly start working. What? I checked the ventilation. Nothing. But by then, I was unstoppable. I started watching my neighbors. That guy from the 3rd floor stands outside too often. That old lady is way too enthusiastic about saying hello. That delivery guy, was he the same one who brought my pizza that day? And then, one fateful day, I got a text message. You're so funny when you check the ventilation. I almost stopped breathing. My palms were sweaty. My eyes widened. Who? Sent? This? I frantically dialed the number. The number you have dialed is not in service. That's it. Game over. I sat there staring at my screen, and then it hit me. Someone played me. Someone knew I was paranoid. And they threw fuel on the fire. But who? I scanned the room. Deep breath. Exhale. And then I remembered. The IT guy. I called him immediately. Was it you? Silence on the line. And then hysterical laughter. Bro, you should have seen your face. That bastard set me up. He hacked into my rotor, recorded when I checked the ventilation, and then sent me that cursed text message. Why? Just to see how you'd react, he laughed. All right, fine. I said nothing. I just waited. And a month later, I hacked his smart kettle. Every morning at exactly 6 a.m., the kettle would start blasting Darth Vader's voice. I know you're watching me. A week later, he texted me. Bro, can we just forget about the cameras? I graciously agreed, but I still check the bathroom ventilation to this day.